Colombia could be about to approve the recreational use of cannabis for adults, following the approval of the first of 8 debates where the Colombian Congress will finally take a decision on this particular subject. Of course, we're talking about something that could represent a turning point, considering the years of political and social activism supporting this measure. Recently, during an interview with magazine Semana, Congressman Juan Fernando Reyes explained, and I'm quoting him, that taking this action will reduce cannabis consumption and will even avoid the development of cannabis use disorder or cannabis addiction. This is a very interesting and important point, considering that one of the main issues that Colombia has, and not so many people know it, is the fact that there is indeed a very huge case of cannabis addiction among the young people, among minors and underages. Something that has been taking place for years, for decades, with many governments trying to solve the issue but essentially getting no results whatsoever. On the other hand, Reyes told Semana that, I'm quoting him again, that cannabis in the country must be regulated by the state itself, considering that we're talking about a business that is fully controlled by different criminal bands. So this is definitely a very controversial point. A pretty controversial point because Latin America had a lot of traumatic experiences every time that the state decided to control certain sector of society, of the country itself. We have, for example, countries like Brazil, Argentina, Venezuela, Cuba, El Salvador, and many others that their experiences with these types of measures have been really horrible. But it is also true that the groups that control the cannabis business in Colombia are not only illegal groups, illegal considering that cannabis hasn't been legalized yet. So in addition of being illegal, they are also extremely violent. We're talking about groups that have committed different crimes, including kidnapping, including money laundering, and especially homicides, which has always been one of the main problems that the Colombian society has been experiencing because, well, essentially because of the drug business. So, in addition, Reyes told Semana that all of this will make it easier for authorities to prevent minors and underages from consuming marijuana, in addition to preventing violence and reduce sales in the black market. So it is important to take into consideration that all of this won't mean full legalization. It won't mean full legalization. I mean, Colombia won't become some kind of South American Netherlands, or more specifically a South American Amsterdam. It won't be like that. The thing that will happen, it is essentially that cannabis will be regulated and will become something like tobacco or alcohol. It will essentially be something like that. We're not talking about full legalization. So, while it is an undeniable fact that anything could happen on this point, because this is a subject where the political factions are extremely divided. Colombia has been suffering a deep polarization over the last few years, and this particular subject it is included in this polarization. So the political faction that is supporting this regulation is an important part of the Colombian opposition, while some factions of the Colombian government party, they want to keep things as they are. They don't want to regulate cannabis for different reasons. But despite this situation, the undeniable fact is that things are changing here in Colombia in this particular subject. I mean, over the last few decades, the Colombian intelligentsia, and when I say intelligentsia, I'm basically referring to the three elements that basically controls public opinion, like the cultural and entertainment industry, the academia, and the mainstream media. These three elements over the last few decades always had something like a very conservative approach, a very conservative vision to the reality of marijuana and drugs in Colombia. But recently they have been changing this vision, and some journalists, some artists, some intellectuals here in Colombia, they have been pointing out that something needs to be done, that Colombia has to take a different approach to the cannabis reality in order to solve this problem about so many minors and underages being addicted to cannabis, and especially the violence that these bands that control the cannabis business commit almost every single day. So the truth is that anything could happen, and we are in the brink of something like a cannabis revolution here in Colombia. So we're talking about a very exciting moment. Reporting from Medellin, Colombia, Luis Orozco, NEWSWEEED.